little prompt. I asked, did he still play an active part in the running of the brewery, adding that my assistant sang the praises of Barleycorn's nut brown ale. William came to life, telling me about working with his head brewer on a new beer that would top the lot. "We'll be flooded with orders." I congratulated him. At a time when so many companies were laying off workers, here was a man providing employment. After a moment or two of hearing more about the new brew, I realized that he was reluctant to tell me just why he was here. Perhaps I was on the wrong tack. Did Eleanor want to buy back her painting? Had I been crossed off the list for the garden party? There was nothing for it but to stop dancing around the maypole. Just as I was about to form the direct question, he crept up on his topic. Eleanor and I were chatting the other day, and she gave me your card." This was not a moment to let slip. "Eleanor believes you need an investigator. Do you think so too, William?" "Well, I wouldn't go as far as that." "What then?" I waited until he filled the silence. "As often happens, you hear of a person once, meet that person, and hear more about them. People have very good words to say about you, Kate." "I'm glad to hear it." "You've a right good reputation for discretion, for tackling all sorts of tricky business. My insurance agent mentioned you as having a chap on your books who looks into the business side of things. Mr. Sykes, Jim Sykes." William snapped his fingers. "That's the fella my agent mentioned." He set his whiskey aside for a moment to take a gulp of black tea. Dry throat, clammy skin, unhealthy colour. Here was a man feeling his age, with a wife in her 30s, something going wrong in his business, and suffering from a bout of jaundice. If William Lofthouse worried himself to death, Eleanor may shortly become an independent and wealthy woman, never having to think twice about the price of oil paints. "How may our agency help you?" I asked. The business is going through an uneven patch, let's say. It's worrying, but these things happen. We have some good people working for us, and I ought to know. I was brought up to it. There's nothing I haven't done. I shoveled barley into the kiln during school halls, groomed the horses, shadowed the head brewer. Father encouraged me, showed me how to do every job. Mother didn't like it. A brewery can be a dangerous place." I perked up at the word dangerous, but he did not expand. "What exactly has gone wrong?" If you blink in this business, something goes wrong. I took time off to be with Eleanor after our marriage. She wanted to get to know the area and see some of the places I went as a boy, and then she was making changes in the house, and I enjoyed being with her. There was a bit of a muddle in the accounts. The accountant was a young man when he started working for my father. Out of decency, I had to wait until he came to me and said he planned to retire. A litany of minor business mishaps followed. William went on to explain that his secretary attended a lecture by a know-it-all businessman. She came in the next day, after listening to this fella, still wet behind his ears, and told me that we needed an outside eye on our doings. "You have a nephew in the business, I believe." "That's right. James is my right-hand man. He's away in Germany, picking up new ideas from the brewers there." "When will James return?" There's the question. In our trade, we send our youngsters to learn from another brewer. James had all that years ago in his 20s at the Anchor Brewery in Southwark." He leaned forward, his frown giving him a slightly anxious look. "He ought to have been back a month ago. He ought to be with me at the Barleycorn Helm by now, but he's flitting about Germany. Dortmund, Munster, Munich. Tells me we have to keep up with the times and that we have a thing or two to learn. He has written about his big plans for when he returns, but it's him I want back. Now the letters have stopped. We get a weekly postcard." There was yearning in William's voice when he spoke of James.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.